focus.
Exploding real estate topics this week in the news, the interest rates. We're going to talk about everything in property in the news this week and talk about if it's really fact or fiction. Stay tuned.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good. Can you see me do my hair in that 30-second intro?
No.
Oh, that's good then. So
what do you do? You slide off and go and do your hair?
Yeah, so just this, otherwise, reflection is it? So this side of the camera, we got a huge mirror, head to ceiling. Yeah. Sorry, floor to ceiling, and yeah, it's great. Just flick over, do your hair, then rush back up.
Doesn't really matter what you do to that head; it's all going to look the same.
It's true.
It's not like you've got hair that long where you can go left or right. It's only like that big.
Well, it's what matters in here, in the heart. You know, it makes you.
It is. Good morning, everyone that's watching this morning, and guys and girls. You know what? Something about the news. It's not property news. Is not written by property people. Property news is written by media. It's trying to sell newspapers or media space or whatever they're selling. So we just wanted to put our spin on it this week because it's been a massive week with property news. A lot of data coming in from the end of the financial year. Interest rates have gone up. We just wanted to just tell you what it's really like on the ground and what's really happening. So we do that in bits and pieces with our property tiles every day, but we thought we'd give a bit of a summation today, and I think you'll feel pretty good at the end of it.
Yep, agreed. All right, so I'm going to kick it off with sharing a screen here.
We can do it real fast.
Real fast. Hang on, let me just find the right one. I need to add this one. Hang on.
Here we go.
Do we want full screen? Or do you want to see ours?
Yeah, not bad. Not bad, mate. Not bad. Okay. So this one, Zoomage.
Zoomage.
Oh, that's good. Yes. National housing price changes in June. So, so this is a big one, guys, because we do really get caught up in the moment. About where interest rates are, about property prices potentially falling a little bit. But we've got to maintain a good 10-year view over how the property market's been going. And it's been absolutely fantastic. And your expectations, your heart won't be broken if you have your expectations set. Your expectations should be set that the property values generally double every 10 years in most strong suburbs in Sydney and most parts of Australia. Billy?
Yep. So this little snippet says prices are now 1.5% below the peak seen in February 22.
Yeah.
Annual price growth at the slowest rate since October 2020.
Yep.
Are you at all worried about that with interest rates increasingly, becoming heavy on growth in Sydney markets and across the country? Are you worried at all?
Me? No, because people have been stupid with their money in the last year or two.
Yep.
So I reckon it's time to tighten the belt, and that's what the government's doing. So, if you look at, consumables and what people have spent in the last year or two when they got $1,000 from the government, they went and bought a plasma. There's a bit of fat there that's got to be cut out. So that's all it is. And we got used to free money. Free money is not normal.
Yeah.
Like
and there's a lot of it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, we shouldn't be used to that. We shouldn't be used to eating cake.
You get fat after too much.
You get fat. So it's good. It's healthy. Next tile.
But there's a breakdown for each sort of main
next piece of news.
Freshwater units. A quick little this is a quick little snapshot into days on market. Days on
You know what,
market.
guys? I love that days on market, Billy. I think it's an interesting metric. How long, on average, a property stays on the market in a suburb? Guys, if you have access to that information, it's good to know. Ask that information of your real estate agent. It's good to know.
Yep, and you can see their average monthly sale volume, 14 units sold per month. On to the next.
Next.
Trying to go next, hang on.
Next. You're doing a good job DJing today, Billy.
Wow, you spoke too soon. I don't know what's going on. There we go. Brookvale house prices. If you're looking at Brookvale,
18.
Up.
Next. Warriewood's interesting. Warriewood's got it's a new suburb for units relative to the last 10 odd years. 20 days on market, big prices. Next.
Big prices. Sydney.
Oh, I like this one. Can we zoom up on that?
Yeah, of course we can. So real estate in the past 7 days.
Pretty low. Pretty low. Let's move down a bit. General time on the market, 30 days for Sydney. I was a bit surprised by that. I thought it was going to be shorter. But when you consider stuff was getting snapped up in 7 to 14 days, days on market, that's double now. Amount of properties on the market in Sydney at the moment, 2,146.
New listings.
Yeah.
This is interesting. $1.36 million median house price. Auction results.
Big money. Auction.
Yeah, that's another one.
Okay. Past the sold after auction. Yeah, great. 200. What do you get for 220 grand? What's that there on the bottom there?
It's a bargain. You can pick up what I would imagine as a little unit in Penrith.
Next.
Hey, 20 years.
This week we turned 20 years old. Moved into the old office. That's a photo. Can we zoom up on that little puppy?
I was going to say, is that the old office?
Yeah, that's our little office. So that used to be a pie shop, and then we got our hands on it and turned it into a real estate agency. Foyer at the front part, and then you can see that white pillar, back part office, where we had about sort of 10 desks. Beautiful. Those were the days, beautiful days. Next.
Northern Beaches unit values for the June quarter.
So this is showing a little bit of pain for property. When you look at it on the short term, it's showing a little bit of gain in some parts. In the long term, not really. Look at that.
No
and
gain.
That's units, is it, Billy Bob?
Yeah, this is for the June quarter. So that 12 months change has obviously been calculated based on recent times. But yeah, over the 3 month change, 10%, 20% for certain values, suburbs.
So if you're taking a snapshot from July now to July last year, there hasn't been a lot of gain in units in the Northern Beaches, 3%. That's it.
That's it.
Don't forget, guys, it's the long game, not the short game.
This is
okay.
This is the same thing, but for houses.
Yeah, it's interesting. Houses over the last 12 months. So we've had about 6 months of pain, and then 6 months before that was gain. You can see the pain in that last 3 months there, and you can see it sort of equaled itself out. Some suburbs are a little bit ahead. Eleanor is ahead for houses. Chrome is ahead for houses, still 10%. Now, Billy, 10% over 12 months, that's a hell of a lot of money for a human. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Like that's big.
That's
big. That's a lot of cake. Like if you consider a house price in Chrome was 2.5 million, 10%, $250,000. You can't save that money. What do we got there?
This is another snapshot. So this is the most recent one. The one we did before is the week before.
Next.
On the market. Here's what's actually on the market, though. So
That's interesting.
Yeah, let's point out the private treaty there and the auction numbers.
Yeah, give him a point. So where's this for? Sydney.
Sydney. Yeah.
So Sydney's got 20,000 properties for sale, 22,000 properties for sale at the moment.
Just about, yeah. Yeah.
And just to give people a reference, it normally probably sits at about 15,000.
Okay.
So
that's good.
It's touch above.
Now this is cool. Look at this one here, because if you're ever wondering, is this the right time to buy or sell, you need to be looking at these numbers as well, because this will tell you how saturated it is. You can see obviously the price brackets.
So Billy Bob, Billy Boy, I'm actually quite surprised that the highest tier is the most amount of stock. If you consider over $1 million houses, there's 2,000, there's almost 3,000 houses. That's the most concentrated amount of stock out of all that number of properties in the market.
Yeah, and it's not that's not even close to anything else. That's almost double its nearest competitor.
Yeah. So I know Harry Triggerboff always pipes on about affordability. I think there's a problem there. When you look at affordability, you would think that that the most amount of stock should be weighted in the centre of those prices there. It should.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It should be weighted probably more around the 500 to 700 price range.
Look at that, 230 properties.
Yeah, there's a problem. That shows affordability. Anything else?
Clearance rates?
53%. It's low.
Last year,
I saw Tom Panos this week did a story on his auctions. No one was registering at his auctions. It looked pretty sad, but I loved his honesty.
Yeah, he put some good stuff out there. Brookvale rents, I think we've already Brookvale rents. We haven't done this one, so guys, if you haven't had a review, you need to.
I got in trouble from property managers on Saturday.
What'd you do?
Because our team's getting on social media talking about rents going up, because the media is talking about rents going up, and our property management team is going bollocks. They're saying it's not. Yeah, it's not. So, it just makes life harder for us when we're out there telling everyone. So it appears that the media is a little bit out of, or the Northern Beaches is a little bit out of line with the media at the moment, where the media is talking about rents potentially going up heavily, and rents are going up incrementally now. We're not seeing it. We're seeing probably the opposite at the moment in the last couple of weeks.
Okay, there you go.
Next.
Brookvale units, we've already done that one, and houses.
Next.
Warriorwood rents, they're all pointing up.
Yeah.
Warriorwood, you wanted to talk about Warriorwood, didn't you?
Yeah, you know what's interesting about rents pointing up? It's rental market is probably the only market that hasn't significantly shifted. When you look at all the property indicators, commercial property sales prices have done well, rental prices have done well, residential prices have done well, all different sectors have done well. The only sector that's only gone up about 15% in 10 years is the rental prices. So I think you may find with inflation and interest rates going up, less investors are going to get into the market, more investors are going to leave the market. That could push rents up. Next. What do you want to ask?
DY?
Next.
This is big.
Victory. So, something that I liked was the Novak There's only about 6 commercial agents on the Northern Beaches. There are 185 agencies on the Northern Beaches, of which there's 110,000 properties that we're servicing. So we're pretty proud to be having these ranking in the most concentrated suburb on the Northern Beaches, DY. Yep. And Brookvale, which is synonymously known for commercial.
So that's sales and performance rated by realestate.com.au.
Yes.
Same for selling and leasing.
Good on your team.
Congratulations. That's big. That's big. Did you know there are 6,462 commercial properties on the Northern Beaches?
There you go. So that's probably representative for most of New South Wales. You know, when you do have a concentrated area, I think you'll find probably about 5% of that area will be filled with commercial. Interesting number, interesting stat. And again, going back to what I was saying, just over 100,000, 110,000 properties on the beaches, 6,000 of them are commercial ones. Again, you're getting close to that 5% stat.
Yeah.
That's enough to service a community.
Yeah, true. A good sale for the commercial team. Good old Nate.
Yeah. And prices are still achievable, like 270 grand for a little commercial. If you think it's too hard to invest your money, there's a great example of how you can invest your money effectively.
So that's a good example. If you're not happy with what your super's doing, put it into this. And what sort of rent would this get, Mark?
What sort of what?
What sort of rent would this get?
I think that was getting about 25 grand a year for memory, that one.
Yeah, cool.
Next.
What's happened here?
So one of our staff members at a Christmas party had a bit of a fall, and we've decided that now whenever not our Christmas party, it was an office function. So we decided whenever we have a function, she's got to wear a helmet, and that's her with a helmet.
Thank you. Thanks for clarifying. This is cool. So new rental management.
How that's that week when we get to price a property, and the owner says, look, just put a price on a property and get it rented. Eliana's very good at that. Just getting an excellent result. 81% of them are rented on day one. So it's a huge success rate. Because not only is it the rent that you're getting, it's the rent that you're not getting. So I think as a landlords have to remember that there's no use chasing the big rent and having the property vacant and not getting any rent. So it's a balancing act.
Yeah. That's the end of our slideshow.
That's it. And that's the end of our show. They're the media highlights for this week. Interest rates, Billy?
Yeah, the
interest rates
said they're all going up. But
scared?
No, so I was listening to some good stuff over the weekend. For people that have got a mortgage within the last 6 to 12 months, the banks factored in these increases into your pre-approvals. So don't worry. They've already, worked out their numbers. And for people that have had a mortgage longer than 12 months, 24 months, interest rates are slowly getting back to where they were pre-COVID. So you've paid a mortgage like this before. Not too worried. Yeah.
Well, look, a lot of people manage depression. A lot of people manage anxiety. This talk in the media about interest rates doesn't help that. And
in your face as well, all day, every day.
It's right there, and it's something that you can't control. So I think that it's super relevant. But like you said, I think sometimes you got to have trust in people that are making these decisions. And I think if the bank's made the decision to write the loan out to you, you're in good standing, and they have factored in increases when they made that decision. So if that helps you settle like it has you, it's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, we could do a whole new topic on it, but there's some interesting numbers on how many people have got some great equity in their homes, how many people have actually are on a fixed term interest rate, so they're not being affected by these increases just yet. So yeah, there's some cool data to look at there.
Absolutely. Everyone, have a beautiful day. Rain, please go away.
See you, Mark.
See you, buddy. Thanks, man.